guys, in this video we will discuss the cell and the things inside the cell, such as organelles and other parts of the cells and its function. Basically, a cell is defined as the smallest basic unit of life that is responsible for all life's processes. Cells are structural, functional, and biological units of all living beings. A cell can replicate itself independently, hence, they are known as the building blocks of life. Cells can be eukaryotic or prokaryotic. Prokaryotes, mainly, do not have nucleus or organelles such as bacteria. However, eukaryotes have a nucleus and organelles such as plants, fungi, protists, and animals such as humans. Cells are made up of organelles. Organelles are cell structures that have a specific function and are surrounded by a membrane that are found in eukaryotes only. Cells comprises several cell organelles that perform specialized functions to carry out life processes. Every organelle has a specific structure and a specific functions and roles in the synthesis of cells. The hereditary material of the organisms is also present in the cells. Prokaryotic cells have no nucleus. Instead, some prokaryotes, such as bacteria, have a region within the cell where the genetic material is freely suspended. This region is called the nucleoli. Prokaryotic cells they are also single-celled microorganisms. Examples include archaea, bacteria, and cyanobacteria. The cell size of prokaryotes ranges from 0.1 to 0.5 micrometer in diameter. And the hereditary material can either be DNA or RNA. Prokaryotes also reproduce by binary fission, a form of sexual reproduction. Now, here is the eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells are characterized by a true nucleus. The size of the cells ranges between 10 to 100 micrometer in diameter compared to prokaryotic cells. This broad category involves plants, fungi, protozoans, and animals such as humans. The plasma membrane is responsible for monitoring the transport of nutrients and electrolytes in and out of the nucleus. It is also responsible for cell-to-cell communication. Eukaryotic cells produce as well as asexually. They can produce sexually or asexually. There are some contrasting features between plant and animal cells. For example, the plant cells contain chloroplast, central vacuoles, and other plastids, whereas the animal cells do not. Later, we're gonna discuss the difference between plant cell and the animal cell. Now, let's move on to cell structures and functions. First, we're gonna discuss the nucleus, known as the control center of the cell. Nucleus directs and commands cell activities like what to do, what proteins to make, and stuff like that. It contains the genetic material, which is the DNA, and separated from cytoplasm by a nuclear membrane or nuclear envelope, as you can see in the picture. Nucleolus is a dark staining structure right here, and it makes ribosomes that makes protein. So this is the nucleolus, as you can see. So now, ribosomes, each of ribosomes contains 1,000. Each of the cells contain 1,000 of ribosomes. It makes proteins and found in the plasmic reticulum and floating throughout the cell cytoplasm. It could be ribosomal RNA and proteins. The way the nucleus makes proteins, it it sends mRNA that carries the instructions to the ribosomes to make specific types of proteins. So here is the nuclear membrane. Nuclear membrane surrounds nucleus, separates DNA from cytoplasm. It is made up of two layers and its openings called nuclear pores. This is the nuclear pores and it allows some materials to enter and leave nucleus. So mRNA or messenger RNA comes out from this pore. So the mRNA comes out from this pore. Now, let's talk about the endoplasmic reticulum or the endoplasmic reticulum that have the endoplasmic reticulum have two types of rough ER and smooth ER. Rough ER or the rough endoplasmic reticulum is network of continuous sacs studded with ribosomes. So as you can see, this black that's right here is the ribosomes attached to rough endoplasmic reticulum, internal delivery system of the cell, and it manufactures, processes, and assists transport proteins for export from the cell. It is continuous with nuclear envelope. The smooth ER or smooth endoplasmic reticulum is similar in appearance to rough ER, but as you can see, it is without ribosomes, so it does not make proteins unlike rough ER. However, it produces lipids that helps our body. It involves in carbohydrates metabolism and detoxification of drugs and poisons, and excrete it through urine. Golgi apparatus are proteins packaging plant from the rough ER, and it modifies proteins and lipids made by the ER and prepares them to export from the cell through transport vesicle to the Golgi body. Then the Golgi body will pack it and prepares the protein and export to leave the cell. It is also encloses digestive enzymes into membranes to form lysosomes, a transport pods. The next one is the mitochondria. Mitochondria have its own new world. It means it has its own processes. It produces ATP in our body, or the adenosine triphosphate, which is responsible for our energy to support what we do in our daily activities. It is also a cell powerhouse because it produces energy, as what I said, and membrane-bound organelles that are the site of cellular respiration in that cycle, and it makes ATP that uses by our body to perform our task. Like example, it uses glucose to produce cell energy in ATP. It is also active cells like muscles have more in mitochondria have more active cells like muscles. Lysosome, it acts as digestive enzymes that break down cellular waste and debris that causes disease and illness to our body. Lysosome also transport undigested material to cell membrane for removal of waste. Cell breaks down if lysosome explodes. Now, let's move on to cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a gel-like mixture inside the cells, surrounded by cell membrane, contains cell structure that carry out specific jobs. And cytoplasm provides a medium for chemical reactions to take place. Let's move on to cytoskeleton. The cytoskeleton acts as the cell's skeleton, made up of network called microtubules and filaments. Microtubules is made up of tubulin, and the filament is made up of actin. These networks work together to give the cell shape, strength, and ability to move. and to make it more versatile. Now, centrioles. Centrioles found only in animal cells. Centrioles used in self-replicating in cell division that form mitotic spindle and pull apart in different poles the chromosomes that forces the chromosomes to split into two. Made of bundles of microtubules, it helps in organizing cell division. Cilia and flagella. Cilia and flagella are external appendages from the cell membrane that aid in locomotion or movement of the cell. Cilia also help to move substance passed from the membrane. This two structure makes the cell move from one place to another, and they are made up of microtubules. So far, we are talking about the animal cells. Now, let's talk about the plant cells. They have some similarities but have some differences. And the first one is the plant vacuole. Plants have large central vacuoles that store water and nutrients needed by the cell. It helps support the shape of the cell, but in form of hydrostatic force it generates. The second one is the chloroplast. Chloroplast, only found in plants, contains green pigment called chlorophyll that makes the leaves of the plant green. Where photosynthesis in chloroplast, photosynthesis takes place. Photosynthesis is the process that plants takes carbon dioxide and sunlight through its leaves and water through its xylem to produce sugars or glucose. Next one is the cell wall, found outside of the cell membrane in plant cells and bacteria only. It contains cellulose that provides supports, rigidity, and protection. Cell or plasma membrane. It is a double layer or bilayer. In plants and bacteria, this is within the cell wall. It is the outer membrane of cells that controls movement of substance in and out of the cell. Selectively permeability that allows certain molecules to enter like a gateway. Basically, command what you want to enter and out of the cell. They are just something like a guard in the gate. So I think that's it for this video. I hope you learned something. Stay safe. God bless.
Audio Jungle.